What is up, you guys? This is D-Man HD, and I am back. And today, we are doing our Week 13 matchup preview of the Buffalo Bills going into not San Francisco, but Arizona to play the 49ers on Monday Night Football. As always, we got our man Vince here. Say what up to the people, Vince.
We are back. It's been a long while. Man, I've been on vacation. It's been a while. It's gonna be back. It's crazy.
Well, to be fair, it's technically only been 1 week since we've done something, because 2 weeks ago we did, while the Bills were on the bye week, we did the Survivor Series predictions and all that. And last week we just...
it feels like
It feels like a while, because the last time we did a pre-show or preview for a game, the Bills were going into Arizona to face the Cardinals. And I don't remember what happened left. All I remember is the Bills took the lead with 34 seconds left, and I turned the game off. I think we... But the NFL is rigged, because we don't have that win. So, I don't know what happened. I'm still finally complaining against the NFL.
so unfortunate.
But we got the Buffalo Bills facing the Arizona 49ers? Is that what we have to call them now? Because for the rest of the month,
The Phoenix 49ers.
the Phoenix 49ers, I like that. I mean,
I
because
just
they're
saw a video on it.
they're going to be playing in Arizona the next 2 home games, because they won't have any sports in San Francisco because of the COVID outbreak. They shut down all sports, all contact sports. Nothing is happening. So, Buffalo and San Francisco have to meet up in Arizona. And right off the bat, this kind of might be an advantage for Buffalo. In the sense, Buffalo's already played in Arizona, and they played pretty well. Everyone knows what happened at the end of the game, but that's a fluke play. Buffalo played pretty... I don't know what happened. Everyone else knows. I don't know what happened. Buffalo fans do not know what happened after Stephon Diggs caught that game-winning touchdown. Nothing else happened. Josh Allen delivers the dime. Stephon Diggs screams out, "That's why you pay me," and that's how the game ended. Buffalo is used to this field. It's not like, they're going into unknown territories. They have a slight advantage. They know how to play on this field. They know how they played on this field. Arizona, this is going to be their first game playing in Arizona as, the home team. Now, I believe they have played Arizona once already, if not twice, but they've only been playing once in Arizona, if that. I'll have to check that. But either way, it's going to be an interesting matchup for the Buffalo Bills. The Bills' biggest weakness on defense, everyone knows, is their run defense. If you focus on the run against Buffalo, you're going to get down the field pretty easily. Buffalo has these holes on a lot of times of defense where they just get 15-yard, 10-yard runs. And the 49ers, they live and die by the run. But they have Raheem Mostert. They have Tevin Coleman. They have a running back committee that can make anyone scared. What do you have to say about that, Vince?
I will say this. The Niners are a very creative team. Kyle Shanahan is probably one of the very many offensive geniuses in the NFL, and he is what most people would say as one of the best coaches that does well with what he has. Throughout all the injuries that the 49ers have suffered this year, he has done a pretty great job of using what he has and what he's had available to him, and still has found a way to put together some wins. Had a couple losses here and there, but I mean he's been going half the year without his original starting quarterback, playing with Nick Mullins. Like I said, Garoppolo's been out. He's had Deebo Samuel's been in and out of the lineup. He's had Ayuk in and out of the lineup the last few weeks, with him having COVID and being as a close contact with COVID and stuff like that. So, 49ers are a solid team when healthy. I would say that they are a very good team when healthy. They are missing a couple of people.
They made it to the NFC Championship game last year.
Yeah, so I mean, their most important piece I think they're missing is Kittle. is he's still on IR, and Garoppolo. So I mean, they should have everything at their disposal. So it should be a very fun game. And like I said, they have their one thing about their offense that makes them so versatile is the orbit motion. Is the orbit motion plays. They like to they like to run a lot of jet sweeps. They like to use a lot of they like to use their wide receivers in motion a lot. So it's gonna be a very good challenge for the Buffalo defense. And has been playing very well over the last 5 weeks.
49ers have stepped up their game. A lot of people were counting them out with the Garoppolo, the Kittle, the Bosa, the Solomon Thomas. The list goes on and on. The 49ers have been the most injury-riddled team this season, yet they still keep fighting. I actually did look it up. The Bills actually have played more games in Arizona this season than the San Francisco 49ers. The Arizona Cardinals have yet to host the San Francisco 49ers this year. They actually host them in 2 weeks. So this is going to be Buffalo's second game in Arizona. This is going to be San Francisco 49ers' first game. So Buffalo has a slight advantage as they know, what to expect with the field and the conditions for it. Now, the Bills are going to get, a slight advantage in some sense. I mean, as right now, their quarterback is not injured. They look like they don't have many injuries to report as of today. I think, you saw... Six people, which I think is the lowest amount the Bills have had throughout the season, and some of those were just precautionary. Allen, I think, rolled his ankle in this Chargers game, and he said he's perfectly fine. I do not know how Allen avoided a serious injury there. His leg completely bent under Joey Bosa.
He's Superman, that's why.
He really is a superhuman. And he actually went on the Pat McAfee show, and he's like this, and he was joking around with it, and he's like, yeah, my body hurts a little bit more than it should at the age of 24. And he throws his body to the wind, but he is ridiculous. Besides that injury he had in his rookie year, he really hasn't had many injuries in his career, if any. You're getting the big piece you're getting back on the defense is Matt Milano. Now, I do not know who the hell has been filling in for Matt Milano, because I refuse to believe it's AJ Klein. I think they just went back and got Cornelius Bennett, and they just put him in AJ Klein's jersey. There is no way AJ Klein has stepped up the way that he has in the last 3 weeks. He was arguably one of the worst linebackers for weeks 1 to 8, and ever since then he has stepped it up immensely. He has 5 sacks. He's getting he's getting 10 plus tackles. He's forcing the ball out. He's forcing incompletions. This is a completely different linebacker. Now you add in Matt Milano. That is a scary defense. Am I wrong by just saying that?
I mean, I don't say necessarily wrong, but I mean, you got to credit the coaches. You got to credit the coaching staff. They have a very talented coaching staff, and they have figured out. And it took them a while, but they found ways to incorporate and try to put Klein in the right spots to where he can be successful. And as you see, it's worked very successfully since it all started in the Chiefs game. It started with the fumble that he forced in the Chiefs game, and he started coming along a little bit. But then his breakout game was against Seattle. He was a one-man recruit in Seattle. And from there on, he's turned into a freaking superhuman. Not even gonna lie, might have to get that man tested. Not even gonna lie, might have to get him tested. I hope he's not.
I hope he's not, but
he's playing out of his mind, man. It's very good to see that.
It's a complete 180.
Yeah, they had talked about it but between this week and last week. They were saying how I think Frazier had touched on it. They were talking about how basically they've been moving him around a lot. Instead of specifically him playing outside, he'll play some middle from time to time, and then when they do play him outside, they use him more of as a blitzer, and then they'll use him. He'll sit back in coverage sometimes, but the times where as you've seen, it's been very successful. I mean, they use him as a blitzer, and he's been clogging up some spaces and making opportunities for other people, also for himself. So. I think, like I said, when of course, this week, pretty sure Milano has been doing some side work, he will more likely be activated off of the.
He actually already has been activated off the IR.
Yes, when activated off.
Yeah.
Okay, well then there you go. So I mean, hey, he's not on injury report, so he'll be back. And I think so. This is where the interesting thing comes in. It's like the fact that you had Milano back in there. Now Milano, basically, Klein had been playing the Milano role.
Yeah.
Which Milano was usually your do-it-all person, and you'll see him in coverage. You'll see him as a blitzer. You'll see him spy from time to time. So I think what they're gonna do a lot of what they've been doing, and they're gonna mix in the linebacker package. So you're not gonna see now. Typically, when you have these guys, the typical team would go a lot of dime packages against a team like the 49ers because of how talented the big wide receivers are. But what you're probably going to see, Buffalo's going to stick in the three linebacker package, and they trust their linebackers, especially with Milano coming back. I think McDermott and Frazier definitely trust in Milano's coverage ability to cover anybody on that team. So don't be surprised if you see if you see Milano playing middle at one point. You see Tremaine rushing. You may see Klein. You see Klein doing some blitzing a little bit. So it's gonna be It's gonna be fun to see how they place all three of them Monday night.
Because now this is where you want a controversy in your team. Like, how are you gonna split the snaps between Milano, Edmonds, and Klein? Where Klein has really stepped up. Don't be dying on me.
Now good.
Don't be dying on me during the middle of the show, because then I gotta call the ambulance, and that's gonna be a whole new thing.
I am fine.
You sure? You want to go get some water?
You're good. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Go ahead. Fine.
Because AJ Klein,
not dying.
He stepped it up legitimately when Matt Milano was placed on IR. And you said it was the Seattle game. He played well in the Seattle game, he played well in the Arizona game, and he played well in the Chargers game. Now, and Matt Milano's probably he's probably their best linebacker on the team. He's better than Edmonds, in my opinion. He's better than Klein. When he's healthy on the field, he makes a bigger difference because he has the ability to pass rush. He has the ability to run stuff. He has the ability to cover. He has the ability to, poke that ball out, strip it loose. He can do it all. Now, AJ Klein has stepped up in that role, and we know what Tremaine Edmonds can and cannot do. Edmonds is a good quarterback spy. He's good with the blitzes. He is not the best in zone coverages because once he steps back, it looks like the quarterback picks on him because they know he's not, I don't want to say aware, but he's not as quick to react to a ball up in the air as Milano or Klein are these past couple weeks.
Don't worry, you're gonna see the Edmonds. You're gonna see the Edmonds that knows how to cover something. So.
But this is not even me saying it this year.
You're gonna see it.
I've never been.
I mean, you gotta think about it though. He's with Klein and playing as well as he has. I mean, it's actually up the play of Tremaine Edmonds. Tremaine has actually done a very good job out there covering. So I mean, you haven't seen him lick as lost as he did early in the season. So I think it's starting to catch back up for him. And like I said, it was gonna take a while for the injury like I said, now I think he's gotten over the injury, and now we're seeing the Tremaine Edmonds that we drafted a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that you throw Milano back into the situation, Monday night is going to be very fun for this defense because I know they've been craving, and I know they've been waiting for Milano to come back because they know what they have in Milano, and that's the one thing that I've always probably questioned as well. It's like, we want to pay Milano, but can we pay him based off his durability? I mean, it's been tough because when he's in there, we know what he can do on the field, but it's the fact that he just hasn't been as healthy as we'd like him to. So,
and going off that, the Bills are 8-3 right now? So they have 5 games left, and 4 of which are on national television. You have this week against the 49ers. You have the next week against the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. You have the Broncos on Saturday Night Football. Then you have, or Saturday evening football. And then you have the Patriots, division rivals, on Monday Night Football. Those 4 games are going to be crucial for Matt Milano and his contract. Because, like you said, his durability, he is a fantastic player when he's on the field. The key word there is when. He missed multiple games this season. I think it was, 2018? At the end of the season, he broke his leg. So, he's an amazing player. He just does not have the ability to stay on for all 16 games yet. So these are going to be these 4 games are going to be really impactful on how McDermott and Bean handle his contract situation, because let's say, he doesn't play as we expect him to do, and Klein is still playing at that high level. Buffalo might be optimistic and saying, Matt, we're going to let you test your value in free agency, and we'll just keep Klein and Edmonds. It's going to be a big month for Milano, and I expect big things from Matt Milano.
If he, here's the big question going into this prime time like this, I think we call it. If Buffalo is able to if they are able to stay healthy, because here's the thing, Buffalo is getting healthy at the right time of year. It's the perfect time for them to get healthy, especially when they know they're getting ready for a playoff run, and you know you're going to need all bodies on deck going into the playoffs. If they can stay healthy going into the playoffs, they are going to be a very dangerous team, because not a lot of people want to see this team anyway.
No. But
if that defense is as healthy as it is now, teams are going to have a very, very hard time beating Buffalo. And I don't think people realize that. And I'm telling you, Monday night is going to be a very fun night, because look, granted, I think the reason why the Niners are getting a little bit of favoritism is because they beat the Rams this past week. And they weren't really expected to beat the Rams, but they did anyway. So, but one thing that I don't think people realize is that, I mean, when I watch that team play, they're very good. They're a very good team when healthy. Kyle Shanahan definitely knows what he's doing. But with the way Buffalo has been playing, if they are able to continue to put pressure on the quarterback like they have been the last 3 to 4 weeks, Nick Mullins is going to have a long day. Because I don't know if anybody watched the Thursday night game that Nick Mullins had played against Green Bay a couple weeks back. But he looked very lost out there, and that was because of a lot of because of the pressure that Green Bay was able to provide against them. So if they can provide pressure like they've been doing, Nick Mullins is going to have a long day. He's going to be struggling. He'll be struggling back there.
And going off what you said, 2 things what you said, right? Going off with Buffalo being healthy at the right time, they only have really one key injury on that roster right now, and that's John Brown, and he's going to miss this game, and he's going to miss the Steelers game at the least. But we saw last week, Gabriel Davis, the rookie, still stepped up. It's not like they're not going to miss John Brown, but Gabriel Davis can fill that void in for the 3 weeks that he's going to miss, because we all know how much of a difference Brown makes to that Bills offense. And also, and going off the point of view, say nobody really wants to face this Bills team. If you look at their losses, they got destroyed by Tennessee on a week where they did not know when their game was going to be played. They got postponed from Thursday, postponement from Sunday to Tuesday, and it was possibly Monday. They did not know when they were going to play this team, and every other story was saying if the Titans test positive again, because they already had their bye, they might have to forfeit. So Buffalo never knew when they were going to be playing this team. They lost to the defending Super Bowl champions by 9 points, and if you look at it, there's plays where Buffalo could have a chance to win that game. And then they lost on a fluke play. They lost on a 1 in a million play, and that's the difference right now from Buffalo being 9-2 and 8-3. So Buffalo is not a team that's gonna bend over and take it. They are gonna fight. They're not like, this beautiful team that's going to put up 40 points a game and shut out every time. They're going to be in scrappy games, and sometimes games shouldn't be scrappy. They escaped the Jets. They escaped the Patriots. They escaped the Chargers. But a win is a win. I think the most complete game the Bills have ever played this season was against the Seahawks. And that was against a team a lot of people have as the MVP frontrunner at that time, and a team that could go into the Super Bowl. And that was the most complete team, or the most complete game the Bills played this whole season. But yeah, let's get right into it. A little bit more of a deep dive into this game. We're gonna do, the players to watch, big things like that needs to happen. For me, the offense just needs to reduce the turnovers and the sloppy plays. Last week, in 8 plays, they turned the ball over 3 times. You can't do that. And thank God this was a team like the Chargers that have no competence at the head coach position. Because if this were to happen against the 49ers or the Chiefs or any team that has any decency at head coach or roster, the Bills get creamed that game. They were able to battle back from the 3 turnovers in 8 plays. They forced 1 turnover with a Tre'Davious White pick. Ed Oliver got a strip sack, but it went right back to the Chargers, but they were forced to punt on the next play. So the Bills' defense stepped up, but they cannot be expected to step up every time the offense messes up. If the Bills want to continue to be a good team in this league, and they want to win the AFC East and get a top 4 seed, they're going to have to limit the turnovers because the defense can't bail them out all the time. And this is going to be this game alone is going to be a good test. It's Monday Night Football. This is a banged-up defense against a not-so-good offense with Nick Mullins at the helms. This is going to be a key matchup for the Bills to limit those turnovers.
Was it just me, or did last week kind of give you the feeling of what we felt last year, where the defense kind of was clicking at the right time, and they were pretty much keeping Buffalo in the game and kind of allowing them a little bit too much?
It gave me, that was legitimately how I felt, because Buffalo's offense last year, we all know, wasn't the greatest. They'd get a 3 and out quickly. Defense would step up. Josh Allen was forcing a pass to Stephon Diggs on a 2nd down that just gets picked off. Singletary fumbles. Allen fumbles because he can't handle the snap. Yeah, and then the defense steps up. That gave me a lot of feels from last year. Now, the problem is, we can't get both. And as Bills fans, we know if we had weeks 1 through 4's offense with last year's defense, that team could win a Super Bowl. But for Bills fans, we can't get the best of both worlds. We have to worry about which side's going to show up today. And last week, it was definitely the defense that showed up.
I'll put it to you like this. I think this week is probably that week where you could see that Buffalo could possibly do their thing on both sides of the ball. Because really, it's as simple as this. The defense is going to be very fun to watch these guys play, especially with the fact that Milano back. We can see how McDermott and Frazier could scheme up things. Because I do expect a lot of blitzes. They're gonna load the box, bring it 5, 6, possibly even 7 people at Nick Mullins. They force him to make reads. I don't think Nick Mullins will answer the call, but hey, we'll see how that goes. Offensively, I think they're gonna draw what they've been doing. I mean, they're gonna try to incorporate the run. They had 175 yards on the ground last week, and it didn't even feel like it. So, and I was very shocked to see that stat during the game. I was like, whoa, 175 rushing yards total. Certainly didn't feel that way, but I mean, of course, Josh Allen is going to be a big part of Monday night game. So he's got I think he'll be able to pick apart this defense. Granted, the defense has got a lot of pieces back. They're still missing that main ones like Nick Bosa, D. Ford, couple other people. But I mean, they got Sherm back last week, so it'll be fun. It'll be a fun game to watch. See how the offense is able to match up against San Francisco defense.
And that's exactly true. I mean, look at how they played Justin Herbert last week. They blitzed Herbert a lot. That was the game plan. They wanted to frazzle the young quarterback who's playing phenomenal. They wanted to make sure, he's not playing his best performance. So, I expect Buffalo to do a lot of the same against Nick Mullins for blitzing packages. My key matchup is going to be the wide receiver core. I mean, you're going to have Justin Verrett against probably Gabriel Davis. You're probably going to have Richard Sherman against Diggs. So, Beasley's going to be that odd man.
City! I'm sorry.
What was that?
No, I was just thinking about Diggs from Minnesota and how he routed up Sherman last year. But that's another story.
I mean, Stephon Diggs last week probably had his worst game as a Buffalo Bill. Only had he had 39 receiving yards. Hurting me in fantasy, but that's not the point.
Rams game was just as bad, but I mean, at least he had a touchdown in the game, so it made up for it.
Yeah. I was expecting the birthday boy to have a huge game, but the Chargers were able to maintain him. I think Diggs goes off this game.
I mean, he was held to no yards at halftime, and then he got out his yards in the second half. So
yeah. I'm expecting Stephon Diggs
to. You're gonna have games like that, so it happens. I mean,
yeah.
But I do expect Cole Beasley to be a very big part of.
Well, Cole Beasley is probably. He's probably one of the best slot receivers in the NFL, if not the best slot receiver, for what he does to this offense. I mean, his ability to make quick cuts on the routes, to get open, to make people miss. I mean, even going back to the Arizona game, that one-handed catch that he makes and somehow is able to get, while swinging his entire body, get both feet in bounds to continue the drive for Buffalo. The man does it all. Hell, he even threw a touchdown pass last week against the Chargers.
It was a dime. It was beautiful.
Can I just say the Buffalo Bills probably have the 3 best quarterbacks in the division with Allen?
Man, we probably got 4 quarterbacks because at some point in this season, every person on this team every wide receiver on that team is gonna be able to throw a pass. We've seen John Brown do it. We've seen Cole Beasley do it. At some point, Diggs is going to do it. I don't know when, but hey, I'm pretty sure they've been working on it in practice. And at some point, Gabriel Davis will probably throw a pass. So I'm pretty sure Dable has a whole bunch of plays like that drawn up in the playbook. So it was very cool to see.
Yeah. I'm just very excited to see this Buffalo Bills team really shine because this is a week where they should shine. Nothing really is stopping them from being this team coming out, dropping 30 points on the 49ers, keeping them to 10 points and saying, look, we were underdogs in this game. We shouldn't have been, and we just smacked them. The one thing I ask you, Buffalo, and I know you're not going to do this, but you gave me the suspicions you did when you played the Jets. Do not look past this team. Because if you look past this team, you're going to get smacked in the face. Do not be going into this game thinking you're going to go 9-3 and then come home, host the Steelers, and then play the Steelers hard. Do not do that. I want you to just, and McDermott preaches it, one game at a time. We won this week 1. Go into next week. Do not look past the 49ers because you will regret it. This is not a team where you can just walk over. You barely got past the Jets when you look past them. Do not look past the 49ers. You will regret it. You will regret it.
Now, I will say this. Don't be surprised if there's any pregame jitters because I'm going to tell you now, it's going to happen. So in my mind, when I'm watching the game on Monday night, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to overreact to if they do some dumb shit on the first drive because it's jitters. Look, this is probably the best time since the 90s to be a Bills fan. Okay? It's been a very fun ride this season.
Yes.
So if you are a Bills fan, you shall enjoy this, bask in this, because this is at the rate these guys are going. If they keep playing this well, we will start to become accustomed to this. So this will happen every year from now on. So enjoy this, and be prepared that if they keep playing well, that we will be in that conversation with teams that automatically get prime time recognition every season. So you have two Monday night games this year. One of them is at home. One of them is on the road. Not in the place that you expect it to be at, but hey, that's a different story for another day. But I do expect pregame jitters. They will happen. I don't expect them to turn the ball over. I don't really expect them to do that. But there will probably be some duds on the first drive or two, and they'll be like, and it's going to take them, and they'll be like, okay, all right, cool. It's over. We're here. We deserve this, and then they're gonna start punching fingers in the mouth. So, I mean, but don't be surprised if that happens. Just letting you know now.
Trust me, I've
Go
come
ahead and
to know.
put in your mind that hey, okay, the team that haven't been in this spot in a while, they're probably gonna get shook early in the game, just a little bit. But they're gonna bounce back.
Look. I'm a Bills fan, and I know what to expect with this team.
There's nothing but stress, bro.
And the worst part is, I wish there was one week where we can just go into a game and literally drop 40, defense only allows 10 points, and Bills fans won't have to sweat. But they make every game make you a little worry, just a little bit. I mean, you go back to the New England game. The Patriots were driving, and they were looking to score a touchdown to beat the Bills. We got a fumble, and the big old exhale. We don't have to mention Arizona. The Jets, they were struggling. They couldn't score a touchdown against the Jets. The Chargers, God, the 3 turnovers in 8 plays. You're sweating. You're like, what the hell are you guys doing?
You have to realize, like I said, the things that when you have a team as talented as this, they're going to have games, especially offensively, where it's like, damn, we know we can score, but sometimes we just not executing things how we're supposed to be executing them to get points on the board. So, like I said, against the Chargers, I mean, I wasn't too surprised. I mean, like I said, they still managed to score 27 points total. Hell, against the Jets, we put up 18. I mean, it happens. They've had games where they've had duds on offense. So when you're that talented, from time to time, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle. It happens.
True.
So,
I think Buffalo's gonna step up this game. I thought they were gonna play a little better than they did against the Chargers because what happened to them the last time they stepped on the football field. They had a bye, so it was just eating them up. I thought they were just gonna come out and they were gonna play a dominant game against a team that is much weaker than them.
Yeah.
But I will say Tre'Davious White is stepping up his game even to another level. I mean, I saw earlier this week, I believe he is the second lowest targeted cornerback in the league, and is still has 2 interceptions and still, I think, in 6 in pass defended. It's remarkable the stats that he does, and he doesn't get any recognition. But that's Buffalo as a whole. I mean, I was listening to the Pat McAfee show earlier today, and they said Buffalo's 8-3, and nobody's talking about them since week 5 when they lost to the Titans. But Josh Allen said it. We like it like that. They like to be a secret. They like to be the underdogs. They don't want to be favored and they even have it in Buffalo. They have a mural saying "Keep Buffalo a secret." They don't want to be talked about. They want to be that team that surprises you. They don't want to be the front page of the New York Times. They want to be that middle page that gets you a little fun article. They don't want to be front and center. They're not like a team like the Patriots or the Chiefs or any team like that loves the front and center. They love to be shadowed And then when they burst out of the shadow and they say don't be surprised. We've been here. You just never paid attention to us. I love that about Buffalo. And I think the Bills defense is going to have to blitz Mullins heavy if they want to really make a statement on this game. It's a primetime game, nationally televised. Everyone's going to be watching, and I think Buffalo's going to make a statement this week. All right, so let's get into our bold predictions of the week. I know a lot of the time we actually hit one or two of these bold predictions, and it's the one we never expected to be done. Over or under, Buffalo has 2 receivers over 100 receiving yards by the end of the game. Now, when I say receivers, I mean Diggs, Beasley, Davis, Knox, Singletary, Moss. Anybody who's going to be catching the ball from Allen has over 100 yards.
Set 2?
2.
I'm gonna say under.
Under.
I really want to say over because I have a prediction later on.
Okay, so let me ask you.
I'm gonna say under.
You said under, so that means only one person or no people are going to get 100 receiving yards from the Buffalo Bills. Who do you think is that going to be that one person, or did you have nobody getting over 100?
Oh, I had somebody getting it. It just wasn't good too. It's probably Cole.
All right. I'm going to say even. I say Diggs I think he gets his fair share. I think he gets over 100. And I think Beasley gets over 100 too. And I'm going to say Davis gets at least 50 yards. I'm going to say even. I think Buffalo's going to air it out a lot against this 49er defense. And I think Allen's going to have a really good game. Over or under, Buffalo forces 2 turnovers against the 49ers?
Over.
Over.
You can. Yeah, I don't know anything about much game anymore, but hey, you can lock that in.
Lock that in. I'm gonna say over 2. I think they're gonna get I think Poyer finally gets the pick that he's been looking for the last 2 games.
2 picks. 2 picks. Maybe a fumble here and there.
I'm gonna say they get 2 picks. Poyer gets 1. Tre'Davious gets 1, and Jerry Hughes gets a strip sack. I say 3 turnovers. Buffalo forces them. Over or under Allen's touchdowns, 3 total.
3 total?
3 total.
Over.
Over.
Why are we disrespecting this man?
Well, I mean, he didn't put up 3 touchdowns last week, so,
That's different. But we're not going to sit here and disrespect this man.
I'm just going off of what he did last week, so it's not like, I'm disrespecting him. I love Josh Allen. But he put up 2 touchdowns last week. He would have had 3 if, he threw the touchdown to Davis and not Beasley, but he had 2 total touchdowns. So, that's why I asked 3. It's not disrespecting him. If I said 2, that would be disrespectful. I'm going to say over 2. I'm going to say he gets 3 passing, 1 rushing. 4 total touchdowns on the day, at least.
He's going to show up under the lights, man. He's going to be wearing these white face masks, man.
Oh, the white face masks. Those are going to be beautiful. All right. Who gets the first sack for the Buffalo Bills?
Who gets the first sack?
Yep.
Matt Milano.
Matt Milano. I say Matt Milano's going to be blitzed a lot. I'm going to say Klein. I think they're going to...
Matt Milano's going to come in like a heat-seeking missile.
I don't know what it is, but I have this vision that both Milano and Klein come off, and Milano comes in unblocked, and Mullins just misses, makes Milano just miss, and then Klein's right there to finish it. I think Klein's going to be tallied with the first sack for the Buffalo Bills. All right. So, do you have any bold predictions for this game?
Oh man. Josh Allen gets 375 plus. Yeah, he goes back to that form. We're gonna see another
375
offensive
plus.
explosion. Yeah, it's gonna be another offensive explosion for him, man. He's just gonna pick apart this defense. Gonna be slinging the rock. It's gonna go up and down the field.
I got an interesting prediction.
Like I said, I expect. I would say this. I expect them to throw at least 30, 35 times.
I can see that. My bold prediction is the Buffalo Bills connect on a 35-plus yard touchdown.
We haven't seen that since week 2.
I know. I think Diggs gets a split in the defense. Allen just launches it, and Diggs gets it. I think they're going to convert a 35-plus yard touchdown.
Play action fake,
Yeah. They love the play action fake, so it's not out of the question. I think they could literally do it, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it's with Isaiah McKenzie, if they just do a play action fake and they just send McKenzie on a go and he's just left wide open because they forgot about him. That's my bold prediction. Hey, it's a bold prediction because it's not supposed to be guaranteed. You talking about it hasn't happened since week 2. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I'm expecting I'm not expecting it. That's my prediction. A bold prediction of 35-plus yard touchdown for the Buffalo Bills. Now, let's get into our score predictions. Vince, you can go first, as always.
Oh, man. Give me 34 to 34-20. 34-20. I think that's the sound.
34-20? I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills winning 31-17. I think the Buffalo Bills, like I said, Josh Allen gets 4 total touchdowns, and Tyler Bass just makes another field goal. And I would like to formally submit my Tyler Bass apology because Vince can vouch for this. When Tyler Bass missed a kick against I forget who, I said Tyler Bass and Dawson Knox can get the fuck off my team. I still stand about that on Dawson Knox. Tyler Bass, I have signed my apology. Please accept it.
Well, I will say this. If people want another bold prediction, if I really want to get bold, the score would be 34-3.
34-3? Now, I hope that doesn't intrude that the Buffalo Bills at some point lead 28-3 then.
No. Don't put that in the ether. Don't do that.
I don't want to put it in the universe, but
Don't put that curse out there. We all know what happens when that happens.
Hey.
Don't talk about that.
Buffalo broke the curse of 28-3. They blew the lead, but they ended up winning the game.
It's gonna be your fault. I don't blame you.
I'm knocking on wood, all right? I'm knocking on wood.
No, you can't knock on wood now. You already said it's just too late.
All right, we have fun, but I think Buffalo should win this game. I think it's gonna be an interesting matchup. But this is definitely not the game of the month for the Buffalo Bills. They have the 49ers this week, the Steelers next week, the Broncos, and then the Patriots. Next week is going to be a very interesting show.
Oh, man. Hey, game preview next week's going to be off the chain, bro.
We might have to find a Steelers fan to be a part of that because that is just going to be...
First of all, look, and I will say this. Hey, I wouldn't mind if it's us. But another bold prediction for you guys out there. The Washington football team will be the first team to beat the Steelers. We'll call it right now.
I'm going to disagree.
We do. But hey, that Washington football team is something serious. So,
they have 4 wins. I wouldn't say any team with 4 wins is serious.
Okay. Their record doesn't speak how they've been playing. Okay? Have you not seen how they've been playing the last couple weeks?
They killed the Cowboys.
Have you not seen the defense? It wasn't just the Cowboys, man.
The
The
Cowboys,
defense is playing
their
very
defense
great.
is amazing,
Chase
but their
Young,
offense.
Chase Young is a monster. Okay, Chase Young is going to be hunting for Ben Roethlisberger on Monday night. Okay. If that
Spoiler.
defense is able to hunt and go get Ben Roethlisberger, and they're able to force a couple turnovers.
You know how
I
Paul
think
Heyman
the
always
Washington
says.
football team can definitely go out there and win.
You know how Paul Heyman always says it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler? Well, here's my spoiler. Buffalo's beating the Pittsburgh Steelers next week. That's my prediction. You heard it here first, but make sure you tune in next week so we can truly dive deep into it. I'm Demon HT.
I was going to say that, but he took it from me. But it's whatever. He can have it. It's his show.
I'm Demon HD, here with my man Vince, and we're out. Peace.